And hello all, CJ here and welcome. So today we've got ghosts, aliens, people seeing demons, some disorder, yeah? So it's going to be a fun one. So sit back, relax, enjoy, and also hit that like button, subscribe button if you like what you see. The support is very much appreciated. Right, let's get on with it, shall we? Right, let's see what we got. The Vice President thinks UFOs are demons, yes. Been a lot of speculation about that. Let's have a gander.
You're going to release all the UFO files?
We're working on it. It's funny. When I came in, I was obsessed with the UFO files, and then you start getting really busy worrying about the economy and national security and things like that. But I've still got 3 more years as vice president. I will get to the bottom of the UFO files.
Okay. Have you peeked? Have you done a peek?
Have I what?
Have you done a peek? Have you
So I actually haven't. I have
full
not.
Independence Day.
I have not been able to spend enough time on this to really understand it, but I am going to. Trust me, I'm obsessed with this. I've already had a couple of times where I'm like, all right, we're going to Area 51. We're going out to New Mexico. We're going to sort of get to the bottom of this. And then the timing of the trip just didn't work out. But trust me, anybody who's curious about this, I'm more curious than anybody. And I've got 3 years of the very, very tippy top of the classification. I'm going to get to the bottom of it.
Okay, so you haven't been to Area 51 yet?
Not yet.
Some people say they keep the UFOs in Ohio.
Hangar 18, right? I've heard that as well, but I don't know. I haven't looked into it yet.
Okay, all right. We'll
wait
for it.
We
saw Aliens.gov. We saw Aliens.gov.
I don't think they're aliens. I think they're demons anyway, but that's a longer discussion.
Well, I can't let you go without a follow-up on that, because Barack Obama is on this podcast and he goes, "Yeah, aliens are real, but here's where they're not." And
I did not.
And so Obama says, yes, aliens he gets asked point blank, are aliens real? He says, oh, yeah. And then he goes, but they're not at Area 51.
Where are they?
Well, that's what he says. Right. There's a great question. Trump had to go save him, and he said he's going to declassify. Okay. So you think they're demons?
Well, look, I think that celestial beings who fly around, who do weird things to people, I think that the desire to describe everything celestial, everything as otherworldly, to describe it as aliens. I mean, every great world religion, including Christianity, the one that I believe in, has understood that there are weird things out there. And there are things that are very difficult to explain. And I naturally go, when I hear about sort of extra natural phenomenon, that's where I go to, is the Christian understanding that, there's a lot of good out there, but there's also some evil out there. And I think that one of the devil's great tricks is to convince people he never existed.
He knows more what he's making out with it, doesn't he? But maybe that's a little slip up. Yep, they are. And maybe the second coming is happening right before our eyes. Only time will tell. Let's just hope that they do follow through with this disclosure, and that it does actually make a difference on the planet, because we all know at the moment this planet is in turmoil. Everything's going to absolute rubbish. My gas and electric bill is ridiculously high and is really pissing me off. Let's just hope that these aliens do actually come down here and do some good and step in like the adults they should and say, right then, come on now, kiddies. No more playtime now. Now it's time to get serious. That's the hope anyway.
What if
It's scary, isn't it? Now, when I'm going through videos to look for, there's so much AI out there that it is absolutely frustrating. You know, but it's going to get to the point that something's real is going to happen, and people ain't going to believe it. They're going to think, oh, right then, it's just another AI garbage. You know, like I was watching something the other day about these people putting face masks off and revealing they're aliens. Now, yeah, granted, majority of them, well, is AI, is fake. But what if one out of all of them is actually real, but people won't believe it? You know, so some mad aliens coming along saying, you know what, I'm going to follow this trend. I'm just going to do it on camera. You know, both, there we are. People think it's AI. It's definitely scary. If you are real, write in the comments, I am human. I am real. Please. Gives me the freaks knowing that, you know, I actually want genuine people watching this. Put me to ease. What's going on here? Right, I think I've sorted it now. Right, yeah, let's get on with it.
On a Wednesday night, a family shoots a video to record a special occasion. It's someone's birthday, and they just got surprised. The person whose birthday is being celebrated is known as Danny, and although expecting a surprise party from his wife and kid, he was not expecting the following incident. What was caught during this moment has left the family immensely terrified. This is Danny's video.
My birthday was the other day, and my wife surprised me with some sorbet, and my son blows out my candles. After relighting the candles, I looked at the footage and saw something.
Maybe that was a sign, his guardian angel doing that to let him know that there's something in the house for you, dude. Sort it out.
Now it happens real fast, but in case you missed it, here it is again. It's hard to see at first, but if you slow the footage and watch closely, you'll notice what looks to be a figure standing behind the family. Only there for just a split second does it appear on camera, leaving Danny unsure as to what was captured.
Sinister.
Thinking that his eyes were deceiving him, or that it was just his own shadow, he takes a second look. But after seeing this multiple times and sharing this clip with others, he's come to realize that something was in fact behind him. So then, just who or what was at his party?
Creepy. That is creepy, but I think
The way has made him vulnerable to paranormal activity, or perhaps the entities were always there and are only now revealing themselves. A museum in the United States called the Paranormal Museum is dedicated entirely to the supernatural, housing a massive collection of allegedly haunted objects from around the world. The museum's TikTok account, Paranormal.Museum, regularly shares footage of unexplained activity captured on their security cameras, but recently, the activity has escalated from unsettling to dangerous. One evening, an employee was working alone at the reception desk after closing, quietly focused on his laptop. The museum was empty, locked, just him and the collection of artifacts.
oh, cough, yeah, you're there. I need it. Whoa.
What sounds like a cough can be heard, and the employee looks up, confused, because he's supposed to be completely alone. Seconds later, he's suddenly shoved violently against the counter by an invisible force. He stumbles, clearly shaken, and immediately decides to leave, grabbing his things and exiting as quickly as possible. Weeks later, a group visited the museum to conduct a paranormal investigation, equipped with cameras and recording equipment. They were hoping to document activity, but they didn't expect what happened next.
It's do this, please.
Whoa.
Hello?
Thing is, see, I'd like to do paranormal investigations. But I wouldn't want to bring anything back to the house. Primarily, I got kids here. I wouldn't want to have anything disturb them. You know, your house is your home. Your house is your place of safety. So yeah, I think it'll take me a lot to do something like that, because I do genuinely believe in the paranormal, the spirits and ghosts. I genuinely think it's real. Oh, is that him, or is that something in there?
Hello?
Oh, he got a taste. Look at that. Whoa, did you see that? It was like a blurry... like the Predator. Yeah, he got the taser.
First, a black humanoid figure appeared inside the room. Benji immediately turned around, but the figure vanished instantly.
At around 3 in the morning, a truck driver is heading northbound on the I-57 when suddenly he begins to panic. Something had just appeared in his field of vision, and whatever it was, it made him feel terribly disturbed. The person driving is known as Ken McGill, and throughout all his road trips and delivering goods, nothing as unsettling as this has ever occurred. Not sure what he saw, he pulls to the side of the road and reviews the footage captured by his dash cam. Looking at the video, he was glad to have pulled over far away from what he'd seen. This is what he caught.
She can go meet up with him and see if she can get him to confess. And it's a tough decision, I'm sure, but Amy ultimately agrees. She wears the white of Chuck, and she...
I didn't see anything.
Out of nowhere, a person dressed in white appears close
now
by.
I do, yeah,
they
on the
almost
right
seem
there,
to come out
yeah.
of nowhere before leaving out of sight. It happens quickly, but not so fast that it's overlooked. Ken is no doubt thankful that he caught this, but he's also completely terrified. And for good reason. Only a day later after posting this video, an accident had occurred at this exact spot. Reports indicate that those involved in the accident saw a lady dressed in white in the middle of the road, causing them to swerve the car to avoid hitting her. However, when interstate police looked at security footage that caught the event, they only saw the car swerving and crashing, but not the lady they claimed to have seen. It appears that they swerved for no apparent reason. While those in the accident swear that they saw a woman, Ken believes that something supernatural had appeared.
Yeah, definitely.
Whether ghost or not, this whole incident continues to baffle him.
Meteors are being spotted everywhere, yeah. They're coming. They are coming. I'm telling you how things are getting weird. Let me know if you just got this, I don't know, this heavy feeling like something, I wouldn't say bad, but something big is going to happen. Or do you think that with everything that's going on with this alien disclosure thing, that is like a placebo? I don't know. I just got this, I think it's just like in the air, like some sort of shift is coming. Aliens.gov, yeah.
Did you all see this? About a week ago, they say there's a new disorder where people see faces shapeshift into something that's demonic. What the heck? Let me say something before I go on. I personally always have a problem when mainstream science or the media decide to answer a question that nobody's asking.
Yeah.
That question being, why are some people reported seeing faces in public that seem to shapeshift? Well, the powers to be just gave us an answer. And it's whatever that big word is that I'm just going to call PMO, because I know I'm going to mispronounce that. Otherwise known as demonic.
So look, Dartmouth College summary. Imagine if every time you saw a face, it appeared distorted. Well, for those who have a very rare condition known as PMO, which causes facial features to appear distorted, that is reality. No, I think personally the veil is slipping. The veil is getting thinner and thinner and thinner. Now, I said it once before in one of my other videos that when this enlightenment comes along, we start getting to a higher frequency, etc., right? Or a lower frequency, we're going to start seeing more things that you can't explain. Now, people like this are just trying to form off to some sort of disorder. No, I don't believe that. I believe generally people are seeing creatures. I think when the time comes, and if they do disclose that there is aliens here, or as JD Vance says that there's maybe demons, I think there's going to be a lot of people in power that are going to remove their masks and they'll be like, yeah, we are here, we've always been here, you know. And I don't think they've got the ability to stop what's coming. I think as people rise on that frequency, I think they just know it's inevitable that it's all going to slip down. So I think they're going to be the ones to say, all right, we'll release it all now. Because you can imagine waking up one day, going down the shop, and your local shopkeeper Bob is now looking like some sort of demon lizard man, you know, like in that film. What's that film with the glasses? And when he puts the glasses on and he sees the people for what they really like. I think there's a lot of truth in that. And I think obviously we're being held in the dark by a lot of it. But I think it's coming to the point now where it's just going to happen regardless. And the governments are going to try and get on top of it by releasing the information first, so they can say, "Oh, we helped do all this," you know. If that made any sense, but you get what I mean.
Chronic face syndrome. So if you see something strange that looks weird, that seems impossible, which I have seen, they're saying it might not be real. It might be this demonic face syndrome. Look, maybe it's me, but when I hear a bunch of people from different walks of life tell me they've seen something strange happen, something similar to this, and it's been happening gradually, but now more often over the past couple of years, I don't start to think they have some syndrome. I think maybe there's something to it. But hey, I could be wrong. Let me know what you think of this whole thing in the comment section, Booshkies. Shabadoo!
I like that.
Now this next video comes from a man who, while being alone at home, spots something out of the corner of his eye. It happened while being in his living room scrolling on his phone. For some reason, he couldn't shake the feeling that someone was watching him. Paranoia was getting the best of him, as he thought, so he tried his best not to think much of it. But just when he started to ease up, he sees it. A figure standing at his window. He immediately takes out his phone to record it on the off chance that no one would believe him. Now we don't see the figure on camera, but something else happens that terrifies him to his core. This is what he caught.
Okay, look, I'm really tripping out now. Something was looking at me through the window, and I heard I'm freaking out.
I'm waiting for them to pop out now.
I am tripping. There's something in this house with me.
When you know, you know.
There's something in here. I'm telling you.
Whoa.
No, fuck no.
What initially comes off as just a video of someone being paranoid is in fact footage of something completely different. This is made obvious by the sudden movement of kitchen items, but even before that, the man's overwhelming sense of unease makes it clear that something strange is going on. Whatever it might be that's happening, the man hopes to get more of it on camera, and even if he doesn't, then at least he can rest assured that this was captured.
Creepy.
Mark this date, August 12th, 2026, because if certain people are right, something is going to happen to gravity on that day that shouldn't be fucking possible. And the weird thing is, mainstream science can't explain why it can't happen, because we don't fully understand gravity at all. There's a theory that something is going to happen to Earth's gravity on August 12th, 2026, specifically that a planetary alignment combined with some kind of gravitational what you can and can't do. I don't know, but I put the date in my phone anyway, August 12th, 2026, not because I believe it, but if something happens...
Wait.
Scientists like to believe that they know everything about the universe. You know, we don't know shit. Let's be honest. They don't, do they? You know what I mean? They know certain aspects of this, certain aspects of this, certain aspects of this, you know what I mean? But the fundamentals like gravity, you know, and they can't explain that. It makes you think, I mean, are they just making half of this shit up just to make themselves look clever? Or is it they just building around what they think could possibly happen, like with physics and stuff like that? I don't know, I'm not a physicist, but you know, we definitely don't know nothing really, do we, about the universe itself and what really happens. Everything is just a theory. Is Aliens.gov real? Right, okay.
Why did the US government just buy Aliens.gov? No, seriously, this isn't a joke. A real .gov domain just got registered and people are asking questions. The internet's been buzzing after domain records show that Aliens.gov was officially registered through CISA, the agency that manages government domains under Homeland Security. And here's where it gets interesting. This happened just weeks after President Trump said he plans to release government files like UFOs, UAPs, and possible extraterrestrial life. But right now, if you try to visit Aliens.gov, there's nothing there. Is this where future disclosures will go? What do you think?
Well, I think that governments are definitely hiding something. Whether it's by their choice or by the extraterrestrial choice, I do not know. I think a lot of people just want it now, don't they? I think a lot of people won't be shocked by seeing an alien. It's all over your TVs, you know what I mean, and stuff like that, you know, but actually seeing a real alien, I don't know, it might be a bit of a shock value here, but I think a lot of people will just be, especially myself, will be like, well, we kind of already knew. So that won't be too much of a shock to me. But I think once they start unpacking certain aspects of it, I think that's when it's going to get scary. You know, we never know. They could be demons, like JD Van says, you know, and they're just trying to hide them in plain sight as aliens. You know, maybe the veil is, you know, getting thinner now, and there is no way to hide it anymore. And if something big is going to happen, and they just need to be on top of it, and they say, right, and it's inevitably going to happen, so let's just try and get it out now, so it looks like we're in control, when in reality they haven't got a bloody clue, or they're in no control at all. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. It's been head scratcher. Let me know what you think. Do you think the veil is actually getting thinner, and people are actually generally starting to see this stuff? And do you generally think that the government are going to release everything on these 8 UFOs, and we're really going to get the truth in the next year or two? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. But that's going to be it for me today. So thank you for watching. Stay safe, and don't forget, fill yourself full of love. It will protect you. CJ out.